All are teachers, no? Huh? All who are teachers, please raise your hand. Okay. You are... Huh? Management. So one representative of the management is also there. School management. School management, there is one person. So then, should I sit down or should I stand up? Is it okay? Okay. So then, any question? First of all, let us try to see. Any question is there? Yeah. Yeah. So, as I told you earlier, the problems are many. There are so many maladies all over the world, all over the society, all over the nation. But the solution is one. A magic formula for that solution is education. But right type of education. Unfortunately, we have not yet understood really the meaning of education. We will have to go back to our system of education which which was very much popular thousands of years back. We had Nalanda University. Thousands of people were studying under that university. And in our olden times, in our Gurukuls, we used to give education. And in the Gurukuls, we had the two types of knowledge was given. In the Mundaka we find what are the two types of knowledge. Dve vidye veditavye para chaiva paracha. Para and apara vidya. What is apara vidya? Apara vidya is algebra, geometry, mathematics, astronomy, astrology, physics, chemistry, mathematics. Even the knowledge of the scriptures, the knowledge of the Vedas, even that also was considered by them as apara vidya. That is knowledge concerning this world. What is paravidya? Paravidya is the knowledge of the Supreme who is beyond time, space and causation. The Absolute. The Brahman. Brahma Vidya. Both types of education was given in our Gurukuls. The education which will give them employment. The education which will be useful to them in daily life, on agriculture, on dairy, on beekeeping, on all types of such type of occupations which will give them sustenance for life, also on aesthetics, on literature, also on mathematics. All types of knowledge was given to them. Apart from all this, they used to give them another knowledge. What is the knowledge of the Supreme Self? Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya, knowledge of God, spiritual knowledge. Now what we are lacking in our education system is that spiritual knowledge. We are not giving that importance. Swami Vivekananda said, what is education? Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. We don't have to get this perfection from anywhere. What is education? Education is bringing out that knowledge. And Swami Vivekananda says, you can never educate any person. Education is already there. Only what we have to do. It is like a seedling. You plant a seedling, You don't have to every day draw the seedling, the plant. Plant itself will grow. But what we have to do? Pruning. What we have to do? Fertilizer. What we have to do? Water. That's all. You just try to hasten the process of growth of the plant. That's all you can do. Remove the resistance. Remove the blocks. Similarly, what we have to do, the child will develop. Their knowledge is inside. You remove the outside obstructions. So Swami Vivekananda said, knowledge is not gained from outside. The whole knowledge is inside. Law of gravitation did not fall down from the tree. It was already there in the mind of Newton. But outside was only stimulus. The falling of the fruit was only a stimulus. But knowledge was inside. So, the whole knowledge is inside. So Swami Vivekananda says education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Now the modern psychologists are also agreeing that yes, Abraham Maslow in his book The Farther Reaches of Human Nature says self-actualization is not enough. So far he was talking about self-actualization, that is actualizing the potential. We have got a lot of types of capacities. No, self-transcendence is the goal. Self-transcendence means transcending the limitations of time, space and causation, going beyond time, space and causation. Meeting and reaching infinite knowledge, infinite bliss, infinite happiness, infinite fulfillment. That is the goal of human life. Fortunately, the modern science has also come to rescue. So far they were telling that if you want to have character building, what is character building? Character building, we are trying to have workshops on total personality development because this is very popular. So I have given the name total personality development, but not personality development. Because in personality development workshops, what is being taught is what type of etiquettes and manners and what type of hairstyle and what type of dresses one has to wear and all those nonsense things. External appearance, that's all. And that is enough. That is all. At the most, public speaking, over. At the most, public speaking, personal development is over. No, that is only external of the personality. But there has to be an internal level of personality. So, if I say that there will be a program on character building, nobody will come. So, I say, total personality development workshop. Oh, yes. Because it's a catchy word. That's why I given that name. Ultimately, it is an age of packaging, you know. Inside material may be very good, but unless it is a good packaging, it will not go. So, I have given the phrase total personality development. Nothing but Swami Vivekananda message of character building. And there we try to give values. You know, value education, that is a very wrong notion. Many people have their own value education. First of all, people do not realize the importance of value education. Even if they realize, they do not realize the urgent necessity of value education. Even if they realize that urgent necessity, they do not know what is value education. Values are not, truthfulness, honesty, this, that. And they say we are trying to give, but they are not, the children are not receiving. How they will receive? How they will receive? Just by giving values, they will not, just by telling precepts. Satyam vada, dharmam chara, swadhyayan ma pramadaha, all these shlokas, everybody is telling, speak the truth. The child also says, his father, speak the truth. I will speak the truth. No, you speak the truth. Nobody wants to follow. They want others to follow. They want others to follow. That is the problem. So value education is not a simple thing. Value education, first of all, the principle is values are never taught. Values are always caught. This is the first fundamental principle we have to remember. Values are always caught. One of our Swamijis was the principal of a very famous education institution of our country, one of the best schools of our country, run by Ramakrishna Mission. And in all our schools and colleges, the principals will be our monastic members to keep up the quality. So, and the children, as you know, everywhere children are the same like monkeys. So they would rather try to do something or the other. So now they took on their head, these children, very beautiful campus, beautiful lawn. So they will put the small papers, these, that, small, all those dirty things on the lawn. Make the lawn dirty, all that. Now, normally what do we do? Put up a notice board? Or announce in the assembly? No, he did not do that. What did he do? When he was crossing over the lawns, this from his office, from his chamber to the classroom, he would just pick up these pieces and put it in his pocket. And then when he goes to the other side, there is a dustbin, he will put there. He did not say anything to these children. Children like monkeys, watching everything. Everything they were watching. 2 days, 3 days. 4th day, those notorious children who were doing it, they just fell down at the feet of that principal Swamiji. Dada, ar korbo na, kintu amader bhalo lage na apni rakom koren. Their principal, they don't say sir, they say Dada. Dada means elder brother. Dada in Bengali. Dada, we will not do it now. Please forgive us. But we do not feel comfortable. You are yourself picking up the thing. We will not do it. And they themselves started picking up. It was stopped. How? Values are never taught. Values are caught. He himself did the whole thing. But demonstration. This is a small example how the values are caught. So, value education is a number one. Value education is not just giving 1 or 2 values, this and that, and telling them simply to follow. Nobody is going to follow. We have to have a root and branch reform. That is why how we are trying to do value-rooted education is to conduct this workshop on total personality development. Total personality development means not IQ, EQ and SQ. All the 3 have to be developed. IQ, intelligence quotient. EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. And SQ is spiritual quotient, spiritual intelligence. As I told yesterday in another program, that Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She has brought out a book. The name of the book is SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she has told neurologically, biologically, psychologically, physiologically. From every point of view, there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. And what is IQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? EQ will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances with changed strategies. And what is SQ? SQ will tell you whether to play the game of life at all or not. Well, that is your choice. What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? Why are we born? Where do we want to go after death? What is the purpose of life? We do not know. This is the most important part. And now there are many books coming out for development of SQ. But this is what Swami Vivekananda told. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. And this perfection is not only perfection in all types of subjects. That is, perfection in the subject matter that is being taught. But perfection which enables you to transcend this reality. That is, you must learn how to get success, happiness and peace in everyday life. But you also must know infinite happiness, infinite joy, infinite bliss, how to get that. That also must be known to the children. That is why in our Gurukuls, the Rishis, they used to give secular knowledge along with the spiritual knowledge. Now, unfortunately, in the name of secularization, pseudo-secularism, we have stopped spiritual knowledge. But now the modern science is telling that development of SQ is a must if you really want to develop the child and if you want total success. So what we are advocating on the total personality development, where Swami Vivekananda says the total transformation of character has to come. Values one by one will not come. We have to have a total transformation. And this total transformation of the character means physical development of the personality, mental development of the personality, intellectual development of the personality, and then moral and spiritual development of the personality. Number one, Swami Vivekananda said, is most important. First of all, physical development of the personality. Physics should be strong. And he was one of the rare monks who told, only Swami Vivekananda could say like that. He said, you will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by the study of Gita. You will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by the study of Gita. And of course, that does not mean that he did not want that we should study Gita. One student came to me and said, Swamiji, I have stopped studying Gita. Why? Swamiji says you will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by study of Gita. So I started playing football and stopped Gita. I said, don't misunderstand Swamiji. You read the whole sentence. Swami Vivekananda said, you will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by the study of Gita, because by playing football, you will develop your biceps and your muscles and you will become stronger, and then you will be able to understand the message of Sri Krishna better. So you have to study Gita, but you will be able to understand Gita when your biceps are strong. So first become strong physically. So both have to be done. But physical strength is a must. Atmana vindate viryam. So, first of all, physical strength is a must. But that is not enough. Intellectually, you should be bright. Intellectual strength, intellectual development of the personality is a must. Even that is not enough. One very brilliant girl, when I was in Rajkot, very brilliant girl, MSc first class pass in microbiology, just entered my cabin and she said, I want to commit suicide. For some problem. Simple problem, I want to commit suicide. Why? Mental strength is not there. Intellectually very bright, but no willpower, but no mental strength to withstand the shocks of life. Life, Swami Vivekananda was asked this question by Maharaj of Khetris. Swamiji, what is life? Swamiji immediately replied, my dear prince, life is nothing but the struggle of a being under the circumstances trying to press it down. Life is struggle. Life is unfoldment of a personality. The struggle will be always there. It's a part of the game. But you should not be afraid. Face the brutes. Face the struggles. Face the difficulties of life. Now, if the mind is weak, you will not be able to face the difficulties. Then your personality has not been developed. So, physical development personality, intellectual development personality, mental development personality. And in that mental development, there are so many avenues. Swami Vivekananda says, if I have to do my education over again, I will not undergo the present system of education. First, I will learn how to control my mind, how to concentrate my mind, and then information I can have at my own will. And now, you can have the information at the Google search, just click, you will get the information. But, most important, he said, concentration of mind. He had tremendous power of concentration, and yet he wanted more concentration. How much? An example, Swami Vivekananda gave up his body on 4th July 1902 at the age of 39 years. A few days before his passing away, he was in his room in Belur Math. That room is still kept intact. If you go today and visit Belur Math, you will be able to realize, you will be able to feel as if Swami Vivekananda is still living. His bed, his cot, his chair, his table, everything is kept. His clothes, everything is kept intact. Anyway, at that time Swamiji was studying Encyclopedia Britannica. Big volumes had come. At that time his disciple came, Sharat Chakravarti. After seeing these big volumes, he said, Swamiji, so many volumes. It will take whole lifetime to study these books. Swamiji said, what do you say? Only few days back they have arrived. Already I have finished 10 volumes. I am studying now the 11th volume. Huh? Within a few days you have finished 10 volumes. How is it possible? Impossible. I don't believe. Swami said, you don't believe? Okay. From these first 10 volumes you ask any question. And the disciple asked so many questions. Swamiji replied all the questions, sometimes even quoting the very language of the book. Then the disciple was very much astonished. Swamiji, this is a miracle. Swamiji says, this is not miracle. That is the power of concentration of mind. If your concentration of mind, 10 hour study can be done in 1 hour. Many students ask me, Swamiji, how is it possible 10 hours study in 1 hour? I said it is possible because at present you are studying 1 hour study, you are doing in 10 hours. Eyes are in the book and mind is somewhere else in the cricket ground or in the film show or in TV. Mind is running there somewhere. And then you turn the pages Eyes are there, but information, that concentration is not there. So, concentration is there, 10 hour study can be in 1 hour. And not only study, in every field you will get success. So this concentration of mind is a very big virtue, is a big value. That is mind control. So physical development of personality, mental development of personality, intellectual development of personality. But that is not enough. Even with all that you can become Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Hitler, Mussolini, Bin Laden, Phulan Devi. If the fourth thing is not there, moral and spiritual development of personality. So that is total personality development. And I give all the youth, after going through the literature of Swami Vivekananda, that is in 9 volumes, complete works of Swami Vivekananda, all his yogas, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Karma Yoga. On these 4 yogas every day we are discussing. Today is the 3rd day. All of you are welcome. 6:30 you must come. Harmony of 4 yogas for bliss and peace. So today is the 3rd day. So these yogas, letters of Swami Vivekananda, conversations, all these is in 9 big volumes of Swami Vivekananda, complete works of Swami Vivekananda. From there I have culled some of the teachings for total personality development. Just to make it little more systematically available to the students, I call it Panchshila for total personality development. Tomorrow evening I am going to give to the students Panchshila for total personality development. What are the Panchshila? Self-confidence, self-reliance, self-knowledge, self-control and self-sacrifice. Swami Vivekananda said, the old religion said he is an atheist who does not believe in God. The new religion says he is an atheist who does not believe in himself. First, believe in yourself. Have confidence. And how to develop confidence? By positive thinking. By having positive thoughts. Modern psychology says develop PMA, avoid NMA. What is PMA? Positive mental attitude. Avoid NMA, negative mental attitude. For everything there are 2 aspects, positive, negative. A glass half full of milk. NMA person will say, oh, glass is half empty. PMA will say glass is half full. Both are right. But the perspective is different. So try to develop PMA, positive mental attitude. And one of the best ways I tell the youth is to read the books of Swami Vivekananda. Rabindranath Tagore told Roma Rolla, the French savant, Nobel Prize winner, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him everything is positive, nothing negative. And then when he studied the books of Swami Vivekananda, he was so much enamored that he wrote the biographies of Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. And then he told about the books of Swami Vivekananda, about the words of Swami Vivekananda. He said, he wrote, his words are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven. I cannot touch these sayings of his scattered as they are through the pages at a 30's distance without receiving a thrill through my body like an electric shock. So, the books of Swami Vivekananda, I have many places I have told, many schools, colleges, I tell you start reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, particularly at night while gliding into sleep, read a few pages. It will have very good effect. Why? It will act like auto-suggestion. Just when we are gliding into sleep, take the positive thoughts. And I tell so many people, so many students, they say we have inferiority complex and all. I said, you read the books and it will be over. Huh? Just by reading the books of, we will get confidence. I said, you try. First they don't believe. Afterwards they write to me, Swamiji, that time we didn't believe. But after reading the books, we are getting confidence. But one day I received a letter from a girl. She wrote to me. She was at that time studying in 3rd year chemical engineering of Sindri Engineering College in Bihar. She wrote to me, Swamiji, when you came to Ranchi, at that time during youth convention, you told, read the books of Swami Vivekananda every day and you will surely get self-confidence. From last few days, from last more than a month, I am every day reading the books of Swami Vivekananda while going to sleep. But unfortunately, I am not getting confidence. After getting that letter, I also lost confidence. Because so far I was telling by reading the books, you will get confidence. Here is the first letter which is having. But after a few days, I received another letter from her. She said, Swamiji, I wrote to you that after reading the books of Swamiji, I am not getting the confidence. After dropping that letter, I started thinking so many students are getting benefit. Why should I not get the benefit? So I started reading the books again. This time not only with the eyes but also with the mind. And I am telling you, Swamiji, I am getting confidence. So I got back my confidence. So now I can say with confidence, if you read these books containing very positive thoughts, I tell the students, read the books of Swami. Self-confidence, self-reliance. Swami Vivekananda says that you must help yourself. Don't depend on others. Even in small things, students, they depend on others. That is why they are not getting. And the parents also are spoiling them by keeping everything ready for them. They will press the clothes, they will polish the boots. With the result, that student is completely helpless without parents. We are making them completely dependent. So I have given one paper. If you want your son to become a criminal, what are the things to be done? I have told. And this is exactly we are doing. This is exactly what most of the things our parents are doing at present. So this is a red light I am showing. So, self-reliance. They must rely upon themselves and don't rely on the luck and bad luck and all that. No. Work hard. Swami Vivekananda says, you are the creator of your own destiny. Self-knowledge. How self-confidence, self-reliance will come? By self-knowledge. When one knows that I have got infinite power within me. Swami Vivekananda says, you must remember there is tremendous infinite power, potential divinity. This is the most important part of value education. Every child has to be told, you are divine. You are divine. You are not this body-mind complex. Behind this body-mind complex is the soul having infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite bliss. That is your true nature. Chidanandrupa Shivoham Shivam. Let them meditate for 1 minute every day. I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atma. Let them meditate. Tremendous transformation comes. We have seen with our own eyes what a tremendous transformation comes. So this self-knowledge will give self-control and self-confidence. How to get self-knowledge? Self-knowledge is already there. Knowledge is already there. Self is already there. But it is covered. We have to remove the covering. How to remove the covering of ego? How to remove the covering of selfishness? How to remove the covering of ignorance? 4 methods. Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. Daily let them practice little bit of meditation, that is Raj Yoga. Daily let them read some good powerful thoughts, that is Jnana Yoga. Daily let the students pray every day, that is Bhakti Yoga. And daily let them serve some unselfish service, that is Karma Yoga. Let them do their study also as a matter of worship, as a part of worship. Convert work into worship. So these 4 yogas will remove the screen of ignorance. 4th, self-control. As I told you, power of concentration of mind is very important. And how to get concentration of mind? I give them the formula. C is directly proportional to P, where C is equal to concentration and P is equal to purity of mind. How to get purity of mind? By pure food. Aha shuddhau sattva shuddhau dhruva smitihi. And this pure food does not mean only what we are eating through mouth, but the food that we receive through ears and eyes. And I give them the example of 3 monkeys. And I also give them the example of 3 monkeys of Gandhiji. And I also give them the example of 3 monkeys of Switzerland. Gandhiji's 3 monkeys: don't look at evil things, don't listen to bad things, don't speak evil things. One of our Swamijis went to Switzerland for preaching Vedanta. There by the side of a lake he discovered an image of 3 monkeys, but very strange image. Because one monkey was having one eye closed, one open. And second monkey, one ear closed, one open. And third monkey, half mouth closed, half open. So he was bewildered. What could be this message of these 3 monkeys? And then he remembered a shloka from the Vedas and immediately got the meaning. Badram karnebhi shunuyam deva, badram pashe makshabir jatraha, sirai rangaistustu agam sastanubihi, vishema devahi tayedayu, swastina indro vriddashava, swastina pusha vishwaveda, swastina staksha arishtanaimi, swastino brihaspati dadatu. Listen to good things. One ear is closed. Don't listen to bad things. Don't listen to evil things. But one ear is open. Listen to good things. Badram pashe makshavir jatraha. One eye is closed. Don't look at evil things. One eye is open, but look at good things. Don't see bad programs on TV. One eye is closed. But good channels, good programs, you must see. Don't read bad books. Read the books of Swami Vivekananda. Read the other books, inspiring books on self-development. Read the books of great people, great personalities, great patriots. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavata, Bible. Who say whatever religion you are, read good books. Then half mouth is closed. Don't criticize others, but half mouth is open, but have a word of appreciation for others. Half mouth is closed. During meditation, keep mum. Half mouth is open. During prayer, open your mouth. So, taking good things by our senses and not allowing the bad things through our senses, that will be the way of purifying our mind. And once the mind becomes pure, we will have concentration. I also tell them that we must have a regular and routine life. And so, there should be a regulated routine. And I give them all the hints how to study effectively. All these I am going to give tomorrow to the students. How to study effectively, there is a big chart. How to develop concentration, there is a big chart. What is the total personal development, there is a big chart. All this we are going to give tomorrow to the students. Then, last is self-sacrifice. Sacrifice does not mean that you have to die. Dying for the nation is good. Dying and living for the nation is better. When necessary, you must be ready to sacrifice your life. But ready to sacrifice while living, that is more important. So what is to be sacrificed? Everybody need not become a monk. But what is to be sacrificed is selfishness. So we tell the students, you must develop this selfishness. You must give up this selfishness. Remember, Swami Vivekananda said, he was very, very kind, always very kind. But sometimes he became harsh. One of the harsh words that he spoken, as long as millions of our people are living in ignorance and poverty, I hold every educated person a traitor, is the word, use the word. A traitor who, having been educated at their expense, pays not the least heed to them. He is use the word traitor. We are all traitors. We have been educated. The government, with the taxpayers' money, the money coming from the tax that had been imposed on the farmers, poor people, with that taxpayers' money we have been educated. And when we get educated, we don't even feel for the miseries, suffering of these poor people. We are traitors. As long as millions of people are living in ignorance and poverty, I hold every man a traitor who has been educated at their tax expense, pays not the least heed to them. And Swami Vivekananda wrote a beautiful, inspiring letter to the Maharaja of Mysore, who was his disciple. He said, my dear prince, life is short. The vanities of this world are transient. In this short life, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. And today in the society, most people are more dead than alive. They are living for themselves. Main, meri bibi, mera bacha, mera makan, desh jai bhad mein. All are living for themselves. They are not bothering about the society. Everybody is self-centered. They want to have their own career development. Everybody, career development, make money and grow further, ambition. Ambition for what? Personal aggrandizement. No ambition of serving others. No ambition of, no feeling for others. This is our modern education system. We are telling our children to become self-centered. And we are showing by our own example, the parents are showing how to become self-centered. No amount of preaching is going to be any use till you demonstrate by your life. But these are the 5 principles which I try to project before the youth, before our students, whenever I go and have a workshop on total personality development. Now here the teachers can play a very important part. Very important part. How? By following the principle what Swami Vivekananda said. What did he say? He said, be and make. First you become great, then make others great. You first develop your own personality, your own character, then develop the character of your students. But first you have to be, then you can make others. Otherwise, students are not going to listen to you. Many teachers, they say, students do not listen to us. They will not listen to you. Because they will not listen to what you say, but they will do what you are doing. They are like monkeys. You tell them, please give me the cap, they will not give. You give the cap, they will give the cap. They are like monkeys. So they will imitate you. So values are always caught, never taught. So the value education is something different from what we are trying to give in various schools and colleges in the name of, first of all, nobody is trying, very few institutions are trying, that are also hodgepodge business. And it is half-hearted attempts. We have to go to and have a total transformation.
Swami, there is one textbook called a value education in the most of the school. And they are taking exam and giving the project, most of the project the parents are doing. But actually children are not reading the books. Only underline or marking for the exam.
That is why I am saying that values are never taught, they are always caught. You may have examination on value education, then also...
But they are not following people.
So what is the use?
So whatever is in book, the children are not following that.
So what is the use?
No use.
That is why I am telling...
Of the name that we are giving a value education.
That is why I am telling that these hodgepodge type of things will not work, half-hearted advance will not work. We have to have root and branch reform. How? That is, we will have to, now I will come to this practical hints on introducing values in the education institution and families. What we can do? There are so many things that we can do. Number one is transforming the educational institutions. Transforming the education institutions. How? Many teachers and many educationists, they say, oh, you are telling all these things, they are very easy to say, but very difficult. These modern day children are the hyperactive and they are so, they are so smart and they do not listen to us, they are most disobedient and very difficult. You are saying it's very easy, but no, it's very difficult, this. And our children, they are very notorious, they are very, yes, I say, everything is okay. But you answer me one question. Students of your institutions, are they criminals? Are they criminals? If a lean and thin lady, like Kiran Bedi, the first IPS officer, she is very close to us. When she was not given any posting, she was disturbed at the time. The books of Swami Vivekananda came to her rescue. She read other books also, but she derived inspiration from the books of Swami Vivekananda. When she got the worst possible posting, that is Tihar jail, where all hardcore criminals. But she was told, you take this also as worship. Take it God's wish. And she took the prisoners that work as worship and started various projects. Within 3 years, Tihar jail was converted into Tihar Ashrama. If a lean and thin lady like Kiran Bedi can transform a Tihar jail into Tihar Ashrama, can we not convert Vidya Mandir into a Vidya Mandir? The name is Vidya Mandir. It is already a temple. You are calling it a temple. Can it not be converted into temple? But it is not Vidya Mandir at present. Does it look like Vidya Mandir? You go to any school, very few schools have got divine atmosphere. First of all, it is very dirty. Godliness, cleanliness is next to godliness. First of all, if divine atmosphere has come, it has to be clean. There is no cleanliness. When I went to Uttarakhand, we had teacher seminar. Swamiji, it's very easy for you to tell cleanliness. For last 3 years, we have been requesting the government to sanction the grant for whitewashing, but they are not sanctioning the grant. What we should do? Ours is a government school. I said, I will give you one very good practical hint. You tell the students to prepare good posters have poster competition. Let them write the teachings of the great people, good, inspiring teachings. Have a competition. And gives little award. I will give the books for award. Good books. I will give free of cost. Put these posters in all the walls. Who checks you? Double advantage. Every day they will be able to see so many good teachings, and your dirty walls have been already blocked. And when afterwards, when you get the sanction, then you have whitewashing. So solutions are there for every problem. First of all, cleanliness. And then this Vidya Mandir, we are calling Vidya Mandir. Dirty atmosphere, dirty furniture, no systematization. And then most of the schools are not having assembly. Even if they are having assembly, it is only for the name's sake. So, assembly has to be made more effective. I will tell you how. When we told about assembly, they said, Swamiji, you are telling about assembly, but all the children, they come late. They will come only after the assembly is over. Number one. Number two, even if they sit down, nobody sings the prayer. They will not sing. Even if you tell them, they will not sing. They are least interested in the prayer. Now, we wanted to know why. Ultimately, it was discovered that the students are not interested in prayer because the prayers are not good. Prayers are not good in the sense that prayers is always good. But the way it was sung was not good. Why? Because, these young children, they have got a very good time sense and very good rhythmic sense. If it is not in a rhythm, they will not be able to follow it and they will not enjoy it. So, we told them, employ one music teacher, part-time music teacher, and the teacher trained a few students, and the whole prayer was done in rhythmic thing. And after 3 months, the principal reported, Swamiji, miracle. All the students are singing the prayer so enthusiastically. Why? Because it's done in a rhythm. So we have to create interest by properly following the songs. And then some reading from inspiring books at the time of assembly. So assembly has to be made more effective by music teacher, by employing part-time music teacher, by having good songs, by having prayers, effective prayers, and well-meaning prayers, all these things. And then also of all religions, that particular topic, in the pseudo-secularism phenomena, what we could do is, we should give, rather what we have been doing, we have been restraining ourselves from giving knowledge about any scripture or any religion. Why? It's secularization. We say the reverse thing, give knowledge about all religions, not only one religion. Then they will understand that every religion is great and they will not have any hatred towards other religion. If we want to check terrorism, mind you, all these terrorists are highly educated, some of them very highly educated. In our own education system, they have gone. It's our mistake. We have given them wrong education. That is why they have become terrorists. That is why I told them it is terrorist making education. Because had we told them in the schools, when they were in the schools, had they been told that every religion on earth is a great religion, as Sri Ramakrishna said, and leads to the same goal, had they developed respect towards religions which they are not only following, others are following, they would not have turned into terrorists. So fundamentalism has to be given a goodbye. This fundamentalism can be only given goodbye only if people realize that all the religions are telling the same teaching. There is absolutely no difference. All are talking about love, all are talking about compassion, all religions are talking about serving others. Then where is the difference? So this fundamentalism has to go. This fundamentalism will go only if we try to teach all religions rather than restraining ourselves from teaching religion. All religions, comparative religion, there should be study. There should be prayer of all religions. Let them develop respect towards other religions also. And when they have got this interfaith harmony as children, when they grow up, they will not be brainwashed by so many political interested people to go for terrorism or to go for fundamentalism and to go for violence if they are taught in the schools during childhood. That is the only solution there is no other solution to terrorism. The only solution is to give a goodbye to fundamentalism, and that can only come if we stop this brainwashing. And this brainwashing can only be stopped if we give proper training to the children in the form of knowledge of all scriptures, of all religions. Small. For example, we have brought out a series, Thus Spake Vivekananda, Thus Spake Sri Ramakrishna, Thus Spake Sharda Devi, Thus Spake Prophet Muhammad, Thus Spake the Christ, Thus Spake Guru Nanak, Thus Spake Mahavir, Thus Spake Zarathustra. All religions we have got the teachings in a very short form. You can take those Thus Spake series. Let there be every day one sentence from every Thus Spake. Then they will find out, oh, Guru Nanak is telling the same thing, Mahavira telling the same thing, Buddha telling the same thing, Zarathustra telling the same thing. All religions are great, all religions are true, and they are all telling the same thing. Now, if this thing is embedded in the child, when he grows up, nobody will be able to poison him, nobody will be able to brainwash him, and nobody will be able to exploit him for political reasons. This is the only solution, mind you. There is no other solution for terrorism. For combating terrorism, there is no other solution. For combating fundamentalism, there is no other solution. It is a long-term solution I am giving, but we have to wait till that time. It is not possible to change the minds of terrorists. They have been brainwashed. But it is possible to change the minds of the future terrorists who are sitting in your classroom by giving proper education of interfaith harmony. So, assembly has to be more effective. Cleanliness is to come to the schools and colleges. I had been going frequently to Gattu Vidyalaya in Ankleshwar. What did they do? They installed a very beautiful statue of Swami Vivekananda right on front in the main gate. So many people, they objected. What is there? Why should you have a statue of Swami Vivekananda? Swamiji statue will be there. There is a good teaching, and this is very imposing. He was the leader of the youth. So the children will get inspired. But they will get inspired only when they look at the statue. If they don't look at the statue, how they will get inspired? And then the managing trustee replied beautifully. They may not look at Swami Vivekananda, but Swami Vivekananda will look at them. That is the benefit. Swami Vivekananda's blessings will be on them. Let them come, let them receive the blessings of Swamiji. Even if they don't look, Swamiji will look at them, and my children will get inspiration. That is how the students got inspired. Then, every classroom, he has put a photograph of Swami Vivekananda. And every classroom, he has got a great saying, either by Mahatma Gandhi or Swami Vivekananda or by a patriot. Some good, very inspiring, great saying is all over the school. And it's a beautiful, clean, neat and clean school. Likewise, so many schools are trying to follow, and they are getting very good result. Not only academic good result, not only extraordinary, this extracurricular activities also good result, but other problems like, disobedience to parents and all types of these problems that come up in the school, quarrel, strife between the children, all those. And then of course the addiction to tobacco, all these things are getting reduced. How? Just by having a positive atmosphere, by a clean atmosphere, by a holy atmosphere all round. So change the atmosphere of the school. That is in the hands of the managing trustees. There the managing trustees have to take the lead for changing the whole atmosphere of the institution by making it and providing the holy atmosphere. By keeping all the politicians away and the political factors away. So many ways in which a holy atmosphere has to be provided to the education institutions. Then, what else can be done? Most important thing is, Swami Vivekananda says, doing is very good, but that comes from thinking. Fill the mind therefore with highest thoughts, Place them day and night before you, and out of that will come great work. So these thoughts have to be placed before them. So we must inculcate in them the reading habits. They must read some books every day. So they must be told to meditate every day. So in every assembly, there should be 1 or 2 minutes of meditation. Very simple meditation. There is a DVD you will get, Meditation for Excellence in Life. My DVD is there, based on my lectures at AMA. And with the help of a song, I have demonstrated how to meditate. You can see that. Maybe you can adopt that, or there are various other methods that I have suggested. You take up one method of meditation, simple method, 1 or 2 minutes of meditation, you can start with for the children. But that has got a very good effect. So 1 or 2 minutes of meditation, assembly to be made effective, prayer, some sort of unselfish service these children should be given. Maybe during the vacation, sometimes they say, oh, the syllabus is so much, how can we give extracurricular activities? These are all lame excuses. Where there is will, there is a way. During vacation, you take them to the villages. During vacation, you take them to the slums. Let them have literacy classes. Within 2 months, the small children learn how to read and write their name. At least, that is also a big achievement. So let them all go for literacy drive. Let them all go for tree plantation. Let them all go for some social service. So then they will know what is the importance of social service, what they unselfish service. And when they will realize the joy, when they will really feel the joy of serving others, then they will realize the importance of service. And then you will not have to tell them. That will be the motivating force for them. So this is value education, not only preaching. Oh, please tell the truth. Children also tell the parents, you also please tell the children, tell the truth. Father is telling, my child is not listening to me. And he is telling lies. But how did he develop the habit? He himself told, when somebody is coming, એને કહી દે, પપ્પા ઘરમાં નથી. He is there, but he is telling the child, you tell, પપ્પા ઘરમાં નથી. And the small child is so guileless and so simple. He tells, પપ્પા કહે છે, પપ્પા ઘરમાં નથી. Papa is telling, Papa is not there in the house. What do they? This is what happens. Some children were playing and a teacher was passing by. Hey, what are you playing? We are playing a very difficult, very different type of game. What is that? We are telling the game, we are having a competition. Who will tell the blackest lie? Who will tell the biggest lie? Whosoever gives the biggest lie will be given award. કે જે સૌથી મોટું ગપ્પુ હાંકી શકે ને એને અમે એવોર્ડ આપશું. હા, કોમ્પિટિશન ટેલિંગ લાઈ, નેવર ડુ ઇટ. વોટ? Competition of telling lie? No, you should never tell a lie. You see, in my whole life, I never told a lie. And all the children claps, sir, you get the first prize. Because there cannot be a greater lie than this. A whole life I have not told a lie. Students are observing very keenly. So they know what you are doing. They will follow what you are doing. No, they will not go for what you are saying. So these values have to be there first in the teachers, in the parents. One person was going along in the train with his child. And then, as it happens, many people come for selling something. And then the ice cream came. Then he said, I want to have ice cream. Huh? अभी बैठा नहीं अभी आइसक्रीम. ना हूँ आइसक्रीम देगा. नहीं आइसक्रीम नहीं खाना. आइसक्रीम नहीं दोगे तो मैं बता दूंगा. Then okay, आइसक्रीम दे. After some time, again some another thing came. This sweet, I want this sweet. No, अभी तो आइसक्रीम खाया. नहीं दोगे बता दूंगा. Again he got this. Likewise, every station he is demanding something, and that his father at the line he is fulfilling. Then one of the co-passengers, what type of father you are? You are, this fellow, your son is like a terrorist. He is getting the whole thing work done by you. What type of father you are? You are under his control. Then he said, what to do? It is all my mistake because I purchased half ticket for him. So he is giving a warning. If you don't give, I will tell the TT that I am over this age. This is my age. I will tell the truth. मैं सच बता दूंगा मेरी उम्र क्या है. अरे बाबा, अरे बाबा. But then he says, my God, the whole expenditure was more than the half ticket. Is better I should have gone for the full ticket rather than for half ticket. But this is what happens. We are trying to purchase half ticket for the child, telling him not to tell the truth. And afterwards lamenting, my child is not telling the truth. He is telling a lie. But who taught him? It is you who taught him. You told him, કહી દે પપ્પા ઘરમાં નથી. Behavior pattern. Be and make. For parents and for teachers, first of all, we will have to be role models. Then the values will come in the children. Otherwise, it will not come. This is number one thing. Many parents, they tell me, oh, all nowadays students, they are this and these children like this and this. And one father was lamenting, do you know what my son has done? He pickpocketed my money. He pickpocketed my money. This is, अब तो हद हो गई. मेरे पॉकेट में से पैसा ले लेता है. अब क्या करूं? I said, do you remember? When I told 6 months back, you send your son to the ashrama, he said, no, he'll get spoiled. If he goes to the ashrama, he'll get spoiled. I want to make him practical. That is, he should be worldly wise. सभी लोग झूठ बोलते हैं, तुम भी झूठ बोलो. सभी लोग प्रैक्टिकल बनते हैं, तुम भी प्रैक्टिकल बोलो. So what teaching you are giving? You told, never tell a truth. सत्यमेव जयते, वो पुराना मंत्र हो गया. अभी नया मंत्र है असत्यमेव जयते. Those who will tell the lie, they will go forward. You were teaching, तुम ही उसको बोल रहे थे, be practical. अभी he is following the practical example. Because what you are doing in business, you are telling a lie. He is saying day and night, and you are also telling him, you should be also practical like me, and don't be like this Babajis. They are all theoretical people. So you were telling him, be practical, be like me. So he has started experiment with you for the first time. He has made a beginning with you. Now he will experiment with others. He thought, let me begin with my father only. Because he is my guru. So, what we want is, my children should be positive, my children should be practical, he should not tell a truth, but with me he should tell the truth. How is it possible? You are teaching him not to tell the truth, and now you want that he should tell the truth to you. You want that my child, like me, should do black marketing and should go for income tax story. And I teach my children, you should go for income tax chori, you should go for all types of chori, but you want that your child should not make chori in your own house. Is a double standard. So, ultimately, it is all the parents and the teachers. So, in the schools, parent, I am giving you the hints, atmosphere of the school to be made more clean and godly, holy atmosphere. Second, assembly to be made more effective. Third, a very good library. Enrich your library. So, we have given you one paper. One paper has been given to you. उसमें एक पेपर होगा, देखो तो. One paper is there. Yeah. Books on value education. Now, what we have done is, we are advising all the schools or educational institutions, those who want to provide value-oriented education. We have got thousands, hundreds of publications. What we have done is, we have selected those 84 books on value education, and the whole set is available at 2,500 rupees, but we are giving it 2,000 rupees. Some prices might have changed here and there. But this whole set, we are telling every education institution we must have in our library, and develop a habit of reading in the students. Very difficult, but we have to try. And that is why what we have advised, most of the books are small, but they are very attractive books. How to develop willpower, how to control anger, how to develop character, how to develop personality. These are all the subjects with which they are interested. How to develop concentration. These are all the books on value education that we have given them. So, introduce these books in your library. Let them purchase and we carry, like this bookshop, we carry everywhere. So, As a part of our value education, we first of all have workshop on total personal development. Then we go from village to village and school to school. We have got a very big van, Vivek Rath. There we have a mobile exhibition of 40 paintings of Swami Vivekananda concerning his life and teachings, which we keep in the education institution. The students see that. Secondly, we have this book exhibition. The students can purchase these books. And we have, most important, now I'm coming to the point, is because values are caught, not taught. Most important is audio visual aid. How they are getting spoiled? By TV. What we should do? Give values through TV. The same TV box, which is an idiot box, can become a blessing for them if through that idiot box you give the message of value education. So show them some good films, because they will not read. But we must make them read at least a little. But most important, how Gandhiji was transformed. Read his autobiography. He has not left anything undone. Everything is, all experiments he had done. But how he was transformed? By seeing the drama on Harishchandra. Let them see the film on Harishchandra. Let them see film Jagrati, very beautiful film. Jagrati, Harishchandra. Films on great patriots like Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi. Film on Swami Vivekananda. Let them have a look at these films. There are so many films on value education available now. Even we ourselves here are so many CDs are available. One film is there, Veer Narendra Vivekananda. Nowadays children like animated film. So we have prepared an animated film on the life of Swami Vivekananda. Veer Narendra Vivekananda. And it is becoming so popular. Our audiovisual unit goes from village to village, school to school and screens that film. Veer Narendra Vivekananda. And the children are waiting for it. So simultaneously we have a film show. We have an exhibition of paintings. We have an exhibition of book sale. And we tell this education institution to enrich their libraries by purchasing these books. That is how slowly the transformation is taking place. We are sure it will take place. But it's a long drawn process. You cannot have the result overnight. You have to have patience. But this is the root and branch reform. You will get the result after 20 years. After 20 years, 15 years. Because these children, when they will grow up as enlightened citizens, it is they who are going to transform the whole society. In the meanwhile, what we have to do? We have to offer our whatever we can offer. So many people are saying, oh, आज का समाज में ऐसा है, ये है, वो है. It is a very, very adverse situation. How to work in adverse situation? I alone will not be able to enough. So what I should do? Sit down calmly and weep. No. Let us try to do ourselves. Let us give our drop. What we are having excuse is, whole world is following untruth. By my following the truth, the world is not going to change. And if everybody thinks that it is better to follow untruth because everybody is following untruth, the process is never going to be stopped. Somebody has to say, no, I will not follow the common rut. I will not go for the flock of sheep. I will become a lion. And I will go alone. I am ready to go alone. But that requires boldness. Rabindranath Tagore said, Jadi to डाक सुने के उन्ना आशे, ताले एकला चलो रे, एकला चलो रे, एकला चलो रे, eklo जाने रे, go alone. And that is why Mahatma Gandhi went alone. And then thousands of people followed him for Dandi Yatra. But first he was alone. He was alone. So, for value education also, maybe we are alone in the beginning. Others will follow. But somebody has to has to break the ice. Who will bell the cat? That is most important. That requires sacrifice. That requires boldness. That is why Swami Vivekananda wrote to Nivedita, Miss Margaret Noble. She was a teacher in England. Swamiji gave a clarion call. Swami wanted that India to be developed. He said India's development cannot take place without the development of women. And women development cannot take place without women education. At that time only 1% of the women were literate, 99% illiterate. He started a school for the girls and wanted to start a school for girls. He did not get a person. So he wrote a very inspiring letter to Miss Margaret Noble, who sacrifice in the past has been the law. It will be alas for ages to come. The earth's best and bravest will have to sacrifice themselves for the good of humanity. And she sacrificed herself, came to India, sacrificed her whole life. That is why Swami Vivekananda gave her the name Nivedita, the dedicated one. And she inspired many revolutionaries, including Sri Aurobindo. And then, in spite of British, she fought against the British and started the first school. Now it is called Nivedita School, Girls School is in Calcutta. It is already completed 100 years of its existence, 110 years, and it is flourishing. But Nivedita did that. So Swami Vivekananda said sacrifice. In the beginning, the sacrifice is necessary. I am sure that if we try to follow the basic principles, if Kiran Bedi can transform a Tihar jail into Tihar ashram, we can transform a Vidya Mandir into a Vidya Mandir. It is already Vidya Mandir. Name is also Vidya Mandir. It is meant for, it is housing the divinity. And so let us start worshipping Vidyarthi Narayana. Vidyarthi, inside every student there is Narayana. With this Vidyarthi Narayana Seva Yajna, our temple, our school will become a temple. Vidya Mandir will become a Vidya Mandir gradually. And then the transformation will take place. Maybe gradually, it's sure to going to take place. The audiovisual unit has to be there. And lastly, at least 2 classes every week. 2 hours to be given. Maybe at the Saturday last 2 classes you can give for value education easily. And there, no preaching. Only the students, whatever books they have studied, they will try to share. Whatever good films they have seen during the week, they will try to share. And there will be a facilitator. And they themselves will be given an opportunity to share their thoughts. So naturally speaking, public speaking power will also come. And because they have to give lecture, they will read the books thoroughly, sincerely. Otherwise they will not read. So this is, and then there could be competitions, speech competition, recitation competition, essay competition, fashion competition, the fancy dress competition, the quiz competition. Likewise, there can be many types of competitions through which their subjects will be something related to value education. So they will have to study the books. And after that, as the prize also, you give the prizes in the form of books. For example, we conduct many annual competitions, speech, recitation, essay. So, there the subjects are given for essay. Naturally, they will have to consult the books. And then, afterwards, those who receive prizes also we give the books. This is how we are trying to slowly have this transformation. So, our efforts are very much just drop in the ocean. But it is these drops which will make ocean later on. Now they are drops. Tipe tipe sarovar bharai in Gujarati they say. These drops will gradually add together. Jot se jot jale. One light, one candle, lighting another lamp. Khalil Gibran says, don't curse darkness. Light a small lamp. And from that, another lamp. From that, another lamp. And then the whole thing becomes illumined. So let us try to do that. Let us try to start with ourselves. What can I do? What can we do? Rather than what the government will do. There are so many limitations, I know. Limitations from our management of the education institution. Managing trustees, they are more interested in money most of the time. There are a few, accepting a few. In spite of the management, in spite of the government policies, in spite of the outside atmosphere, in spite of the whole society going for consumerism, in spite of the parents who are also misled, who are also going for consumerism, in spite of all these limitations, let us try to do whatever little we can do. Under the limitations, what we can do, let us try to do. Then others will follow. But beginning, very difficult. Beginning, we have to sacrifice. But we have to be ready for sacrifice. Then the results will come. So, very happy. I'm very happy that all of you took a lot of interest and you listened. And I think we will get some result. I pray to the Lord that we get that strength. First of all, to understand the urgent necessity of value education. Number 2, strength to implement some of the suggestions that we have discussed now. And let us hope that the dream of Swami Vivekananda will be fulfilled. India shall conquer the world by its spiritual culture, and the whole world will be permeated by the spiritual culture. And then we will have a new civilization where there will be no violence, no terrorism, no fundamentalism, no differences between sexes, between the genders, between the caste, between the states, between the various people, and there will be all universal brotherhood. And then people will be in peace, having peace of mind, no tension. People will be having more peace of mind. We are looking for that great day when these things will happen. But this has to come. This can only come by only one thing, and that is by education. And for which, let us try to become instrument as much as possible. Thank you very much.